Welcome back to Tiny Blue Games. My name is, of course, Csaw or Chris, and today we're talking about MapleStory Artale in 2025. Artale, of course, is a MapleStory World server that features an Old School MapleStory server. And today we're talking about the January monthly operations plan. This is a kind of blog post style update that the server's done a really good job of doing kind of within the first few days of each month, showcasing some of the features and content that will be added to the Artale server throughout the month itself. And we've got, I'd say, a smaller update this month, but still some great content coming to the game. Specifically, if you are someone, I'd say, kind of in the low to mid levels of the game, you'd be pretty excited about some of the regions that are going to be added. But with this video, we'll go through the post, we'll talk about the new regions and kind of the implications of them being added. If you want to check out this update for yourself, you can do so by going to the Artale Discord. They have all of these updates kind of linked there, but I'll also include a link to this blog post itself in the description below, so be sure to check that out if you want. But yeah, let's take a little bit of a look here. So hello, Artale adventurers. As we bid farewell to 2024 and welcome a new beginning of 2025, we would like to take a moment to reflect on the incredible memories we've shared with you over the past year. Each moment has been a cherished experience for the Artale team, and we are truly grateful for your unwavering support and enthusiasm. They didn't really, I think they launched in October, so it was really only Q4 2024 since they've been active, and they have actually done a lot in terms of content releases and stuff in that time, which is really quite impressive to think about. I know obviously all of this content is pre-existing content in some regards, but the amount of effort and releases of updates that they have done has been quite impressive. So in 2025, we are committed to making Artale even better. With more refined content and extraordinary experiences, we promise to work even harder to exceed the achievements of 2024. Through this announcement, we are excited to share the Artale World January monthly blah, blah, blah. And then they do have a link where you can share your feedback for these kind of updates here. So if you do have feedback regarding the direction of these updates, please check this out again in the link below in the description. But we'll get to the content down here. So content, Artale January monthly operation plan, we have update of new region, update of new region's quest, character perspective movement mechanism improvements. It's quite a wordy one there. And then security enhancements and internal optimizations, which I think is just always the final note that they typically have here. So this is the big one here, update of new region. In January 2025, a new chapter of adventure unfolds in Artale with the release of the Nihal Desert region. This expansive desert located beneath the Elnath Mountains features two unique areas, Magatia and Ariant Town. So they are actually releasing both chunks of this area together. I think Ariant is a place a lot of people were excited to see added to the game, so I'm very excited that we're getting both of them. For those of you who have not been through these areas, Ariant is the lower level sort of section here, and this is, I would say, there are some quests even as low as like the mid-20s, but typically in a leveling experience, you'll kind of go there maybe once you hit 30 or just before. And there's some pretty good storyline quests that get you through kind of the really tough levels from hitting 30 to 35 when you can start doing LPQ. So it's a really nice bridge through that section of the game, which is great. And then the Magatia area is a higher level area where there are some pretty good training grounds for specific jobs in kind of the, I want to say mid-game, kind of like the 40s to 60s, maybe the 70s area. So there's some higher level stuff there with some quests associated with them too. I think what's troubling maybe for some of the players that are still playing Artale and have been playing it pretty regularly throughout these last few months, I'd say a lot of players might have passed kind of the levels where this really matters, specifically the Ariant Town. Maybe there's more people that will be impacted by Magatia. Myself, in terms of training regions, I don't think this will be super useful. I do like to go back and do all the quests in new regions that are released just to get, quest rewards. They're sometimes quite good with scrolls and stuff coming from them. But I think it's a little tricky in the sense that a lot of people have probably passed the point where these areas are going to be super relevant. That paired with the fact that you can't make a second character on the same account in Artale is going to be kind of a disservice to this. And what did they say? They address it as kind of an alternate leveling route somewhere in this description too, which it is nice to have that, but if you're not able to make an alt, it doesn't really have as much value. For instance, with this coming out, if you were able to make a second character, I think this would be a great time to make a second character, right? Because you'd be able to go through the initial game and then jump into these new zones and kind of experience a different leveling experience than maybe you did the first time. But either way, still very exciting. Ariant Town is an exotic village inspired by Arabian Nights. With its endless sand dunes and blazing sun, this desert-themed region is teeming with life. Cacti, meerkats, and other desert-dwelling creatures appear as monsters, offering players a fresh and thrilling combat experience. There you go. Magatia is a secluded village of alchemists nestled in the harsh desert, under a vast night sky illuminated by a golden full moon. The village boasts distinctive architecture designs. Here players will encounter monsters that appear to operate entirely on physical mechanisms, adding a unique flavor to the adventure. And they're completely right. What's beautiful about both of these zones is that they are quite different in terms of atmosphere from pretty much anything in MapleStory. So if you want kind of just a change of pace, it's a really great thing to have. The addition of the Nihal Desert region brings a new growth pathways and training routes. So this is what I was talking to, that there's kind of a new pathway for players. I think this would have been very effective back when everyone was kind of in the level 30 to 50 area where a lot of training zones were super busy. It would have been great to have this. I don't know how many people will still be impacted by it. Offering adventurers a more dynamic and engaging gameplay experience. We are excited for you to explore this new region and look forward to accompanying you on your adventure. We got some pictures here. The top two here are the Ariant town, and then down here we see the Magatia sort of laboratory area there. So down here we have update of new region's quests. The release of the new region, Nihal Desert, will also introduce a variety of exciting new quests filled with rich content. The quest in Nihal Desert features long and captivating storylines that offer a deep sense of accomplishment and immersion as players progress through each one. Very true. I'd say these are some of the more full stories that MapleStory ever really tells, which is kind of, again, a nice experience. The quests in the Ariant region are centered around the theme of the Ariant Kingdom. These quests offer extensive, compelling narratives and rewarding experiences upon completion. The quests in Magatia, the Magatia region, are built around the theme of alchemists, offering an intriguing storyline that combines unique settings and rich lore to deliver an unparalleled adventure. We hope you explore enjoying these newly added regions, which bring even more variety and excitement to your Artale journey. May your time in Artale continue to be filled with unforgettable memories and thrilling adventures. So there you go. There is a party quest that comes from this region too, and they haven't mentioned that yet in this post, so I'm curious. It's the Romeo and Juliet Party Quest. So by having these regions here, this means we might be able to see that party quest come to us at some point in the future, which would be nice. If I remember correctly, it's a 50 to 70 party quest, which currently we are, or maybe it's further than 50. Is it 70 to 90? I might be wrong about this one. This is like one of the party quests I've done the least in my experience of MapleStory. But it is a cool one because it is quite different than a lot of them. And it's specifically nice because the current pirate party quest has quite the level range to it, and having some more variation there for people who really like party quest play is always a great thing. So down to section 1.3 here, character perspective movement mechanisms improved. In January 2025, the character perspective movement mechanism will undergo a significant enhancement. Currently, Artale's camera movement mechanism is, in certain sections, exhibits rapid transitions, which can lead to unnatural experiences for players. This update aims to address these issues by ensuring the camera movement becomes smoother and more natural. Additionally, this patch will faithfully replicate the original mechanism to provide a more familiar and comfortable experience to players. We are excited to bring these improvements, allowing you to fully immerse yourself in the captivating world of Artale. We appreciate your continued interest and look forward to delivering more refined gameplay experiences. What I think these are referring to is there's kind of two situations I'm aware of. Number one, if you're ever falling in the game, you'll notice that the camera doesn't capture your player. Your player will kind of like the camera doesn't line up with your player as it does in like actual MapleStory. So they're maybe trying to figure that out. Then sometimes when you load in or go to a new zone, your camera will kind of like snap back to you. And you'll see it kind of snap over, and it's a little bit weird as well. So maybe those are kind of the two areas they're trying to fix. Down here we have security enhancements and internal optimizations. Since the official launch of Artale, approximately 160,000 players have joined us on this incredible journey. Very exciting to see that number there. Kind of fun. We'll have to maybe do a video one day where we look at the growth, because they kind of give this number, I think, in each update, so you can kind of see the growth over time of this game, which would be cool. We are deeply grateful for your tremendous support, interest, and we would like to take this opportunity to sincerely thank each and every one of you. I think they've thanked us enough in this already, though. As the numbers of players grow, we have observed an increase in the use of unauthorized third-party programs. To address this issue, the Artale team has been implementing weekly updates to our anti-cheat systems, enabling us to detect and address unauthorized activity effectively. Every day, we identify and restrict a significant number of users. Bots and hacking have continued to be an issue, certainly in Artale, which is the old school MapleStory experience on the one side. But any improvements that they're making there will only be a good thing for the game. Recently, we have introduced a preemptive blocking system to further strengthen our efforts in combating unauthorized program usage. We have also expanded our internal team to respond more swiftly and systematically. Your reports through the official support channel have been instrumental in identifying and eliminating abnormal activities. We deeply appreciate your cooperation and vigilance. In addition, we are continuously working on internal optimizations to provide smoother and more enjoyable gameplay experiences. While significant improvements have been made to the overall gaming environment, there is still work to be done to achieve our ultimate goals. Internal optimization is one of the most critical factors influencing your gaming experience. We are committed to further improvements, including gradually increasing the channel capacity to accommodate more players seamlessly. Again, that'll be very exciting. I think in any video that I make about Artale, the number one complaint I see is about the channel size, which has been increased from 50 to 60. But obviously people want to have more and more people in the channel. I do think that there's a limitation from like the Maple Worlds side of things, where I don't think it'll ever go past 100 people in a channel, which I still don't know if, I don't know if someone who's upset about it being 50 or 60 will be happy when it's 100. But yeah, we'll kind of have to see how that changes over time. And then down here to other notices. We deeply appreciate the passion and enthusiasm that our adventurers bring to Artale, as well as the valuable feedback you've shared with us. In particular, we recognize the growing demand for additional content that caters to high-level players. Well, that's really good, because like I was saying, I don't know if this update is actually going to be super well received, just because a lot of people are kind of past this, and there is not a second character slot for people to kind of go and make an alt to enjoy it. Since Artale's official launch in October 2024, the game has seen impressive progress from many of our players, with content being consumed at a rapid pace. While we strive to provide new areas and features as quickly as possible, creating high-quality content that aligns with your expectations requires careful planning and development. At this time, we are prioritizing the preparation of the Deep Sea Region. So that's the second part of the aquarium area that we just got, which is great. It's still a tricky one because I don't know how useful that grinding spot will be with certain high-level monsters already being, in different regions, but we'll see. I think it'll be good to have anyways. Zakum will be very exciting. I think, that's one of the most classic old school experiences is a Zakum run, so I'm excited to see that be added. Monster riding system will also be really fun to get that. Oh, and then, so the Romeo and Juliet Party Quest. So they are looking at adding that in the future here, which makes sense with the regions we're getting. So I think all of these are pretty good targets. Relative to the zones being added, I think all of these would be more favorably seen by the community, all of which aim to release in the near future. So that's also exciting. Additionally, the overseas travel region is also being developed as part of our efforts to expand the world of Artale. So I guess that's additional overseas regions. So maybe Singapore and stuff like that. That could be kind of fun. However, areas such as Leafree and the fourth job advancement are part of the more extensive development process and will require additional time before they are ready to release. So I think that's the real unfortunate one. I know there's probably not a lot of players, but some of the content creators that play a lot of Artale are kind of at the fourth job level and are kind of waiting for that. So I don't know. That might hurt a lot of those players to know it's kind of not soon on the radar. I think one of the best things that Artale could do, and I don't know the limitations on this, but if they were able to make it so you had another character slot on your account, that might be one of the best changes they could make to the game. I know that you can obviously make another account if you want another player, but it would just be nice to have it be on the same account. So that it would be interesting if they were to really focus in on that, I think, especially if it's going to be a while for fourth job. But yeah, we'll have to see what happens. We understand the excitement surrounding these updates and the desire to see them released sooner. Please rest assured that we are committed to delivering them as soon as possible while maintaining the level of quality and balance that makes Artale special. Thank you for your patience and understanding as we work to build a more immersive, enjoyable experience for all adventurers. Your continued support and feedback mean the world to us. We look forward to sharing more updates with you in the future. So there we go. That's the update for January. Again, very exciting regions. I just don't think it'll be applicable to a lot of the, remaining audience of the game, which is kind of an issue that way. But needless to say, I think that the biggest thing here is that they're just continuing to pump content into the game, which is really exciting, and be very transparent about what they're working on as well, which I think, again, is very exciting. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.